did you just say?
Nothing.
Hold on. What did you say?
Nothing.
No, I just put the volume up. Stupid ass motherfucker. Damn, I'm all set up in my corner right here. My little area.
Damn, dude.
I'm all locked in.
You look at the Godfather sitting on his desk. You guys hear that?
The fuck was Dan? That sounded legit, homie.
It is legit, dude. We have a guest today.
Who is Caesar or what?
Little Caesar.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Betamax. Little Caesar pizza. No, fuck Little Caesars, homie. I got beef with Little Caesars.
Why, dude?
Because I always have bad luck with Little. Remember last time I told you I got there and somebody had ordered 60 pizzas?
Yeah.
Have I told you my experiences at Little Caesars?
Just that one.
So there was this one time I met up with a coworker. It was during like our shift, and we were both done around the same time. So and we like worked close to each other. So we met up at Little Caesars to get food. I go order, and we're waiting. Oh no, I put the order in the app.
Yeah.
And then it says it's gonna be ready at a certain time. So we get there at a certain time, go in, it's fucking packed, and then like they're like, oh, it's not ready yet, and we're like, all right. So we're waiting. Fucking takes forever, dude. And then like. I'm getting frustrated because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's already been over 30 minutes and like we haven't got our food yet. And then I ask again and they're like, oh no, like it's not ready yet. And then when I ask a third time, the guy was like, what was the name again? I told him and he's like, okay, let me go check. And I'm watching him and he goes to the back counter and there's like a pizza right there. And he looks at the name on it and he's like, oh yeah, here it is.
Oh, what an idiot.
And then he gives it to me and it's fucking cold.
It's probably done like right when you first walked in.
Yeah.
Dang. What a dummy, dude. That's not Little Caesar's fault though.
No, fuck Little Caesar, homie.
That's the manager from that Little Caesar's.
Fuck Little Caesars.
Dude, it gets a lot of hate, but back when I used to eat it, I thought it was bomb, dude.
Little Caesars is bomb, homie.
I used to love Little Caesars.
Fresh Little Caesars is bomb. Nah, dude, I like Little Caesars. But no, fuck Little Caesars.
Do you like cold pizza?
Depends on where it's from.
Because I remember I used to like Pizza Hut, like
I
the
like
day
pizza,
after.
Yeah, I like Pizza Hut.
Like I would just eat it out of the fridge like that.
Yeah, fucking weirdo. No, yeah, I do like old pizza, I guess you could say. Dude, you fucking missed out on that Think I Care show. The drive wasn't even that bad. I don't know why the GPS told me it was gonna take 3 hours.
How long was it?
So we drove to San Fernando first, and it took us like a little over an hour to get there. There was no traffic, and then from San Fernando to the venue in Oxnard, it only took another hour.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it wasn't bad like at all. But we chilled at Midnight Hour for a while. We were there like a few hours.
Yeah?
Yeah, just chilling, talking with Sergio. We had lunch with him, and it was funny because like while we were there, like somebody came in. They're like, "Oh, hey Sergio, like we're doing like a promotional video. Like, would you mind being in it really quick?" And like me and Jose are watching from the inside, and they're doing like some sort of skit or whatever. I don't know what the content of the video is, but it looks like they're like supposedly beating up Sergio. Mm-hmm. And it was like supposed to be like a funny thing. I don't know. That's all. I don't know. That's all. Yeah, it was a little strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we were just chilling. There's a spot down the street. Oh, fuck, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe Jose will text me when he's listening to this and tell me the name of that place. But they had some bomb food, dude.
Restaurant?
Yeah, it was a restaurant. I got a carne asada burrito. That shit was fucking good. Sergio just got like a bean and rice burrito with like just plain with they had whole wheat tortillas. Mm. But dude, the burritos were bomb. Yeah. It was like right down the street from Midnight Hour.
There's a lot like down that whole little area.
Yeah.
There's a famous little meat market too, because I remember like when my sister and my mom, when they found out I was gonna go over there. Yeah. They like sent me the name of it, like, oh, can you stop? Oh,
I remember.
Yeah. And I was like, we're probably not gonna be that close to it. It was like right down the street.
Well, that's from the old location though.
Oh, that's right. Well, how far is the new location?
It's a little further down. It's on the same street, but it's just further down.
That's right. That was the old location.
Yeah, that was the old location. But we were there for a while, and then Aldo from Human Garbage and Criminalized Records, he showed up because Sergio was like made some shirts for him for the show, and that's where we kind of decided. Jose had asked him like, "Oh, like, what time are you leaving to the show?" Just so we know, like, we have an idea of how long it'll take to get there. And he said like, "Oh, well, I'm leaving around 5:30," and we're like, "Okay, like we should probably leave around the same time, you know." But we're talking to him for a while and talking about the Extortion show and the possibility of Hit 'Em Where It Hurts playing that show. I still need to get my tickets for that, by the way, but I'm probably gonna get that tomorrow. But yeah, we're just hanging out.
Where's that show going to be at?
In LA. But yeah, it's Extortion, ACXDC, Bloodstained Concrete, Madrugado, and Tension. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I was just talking to him for a while, and then chilled with Sergio more. Aldo left, and then we went to Oxnard, and we ran into, I don't know if you know Anthony
Bourdain.
Yes. He would be referred to as Hardcore Tony back in the day.
I would have to see him.
Okay. Well, we ran into him, and damn, dude, his girlfriend's name is escaping me right now. I can't remember her name, but they were there. And, dude, honestly, probably one of the best shows I have been to in like the last 5 years.
Yeah?
It was fucking nuts.
It was a small venue?
Small venue, very into. It looked like it might have been like a ballet studio or something because there's mirrors on the wall.
Oh, sick.
But, dude, no phones out. Everybody's just going nuts. There was a guy with a camcorder, but it's like an old school camcorder. And like a couple phones here and there, but nothing crazy. Like,
I feel like that's just like a power violence thing, dude. Like,
maybe, dude.
Because I feel like TikTok, like power violence is too crazy for TikTok kids.
I don't know, dude. There was like a lot of like TikTok looking kids there. Yeah. Like, I was kind of like, damn, this crowd is kind of, if I were to see this crowd and not know there was a show going, I wouldn't know what kind of show would be happening. Because you would see like typical power violence looking kids. You would see like Thrasher, but which made sense because Dead Heat also played.
Oh, okay.
So
it's kind of...
it was like a mixed bill in a way, but dude, everybody was going nuts for every band.
Yeah.
For every single band. I think
Wait, what band headlined?
Dead Heat.
Dead Heat?
Dead Heat had. So I think you would have, I don't know if you've heard of this band, Haywire.
I've heard of them. I don't know if I've heard
They're kind of
them,
like punk, oi, hardcore, like from Boston.
Haywire.
Dude, they were fucking sick.
Yeah.
They were fucking sick. And like listening to it, I was like, oh, this is an Eddie band right here.
Your favorite band of the night?
No, I think I care. Dude. Okay, and then Human Garbage played, and they did 2 Lights Out covers.
Ah.
They did Trapped and Consequence.
Damn, dude.
Dude, it was fucking tight, man. It was a lot of fun. It was fucking wild, and I was just like, it made me realize, like, dude, like, shows kind of suck now. Well, in Riverside, the shows I've been to here in Riverside, like, the crowd does go crazy sometimes, but it's just the energy at that show was just insane.
It was just fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, dude. And like I was kind of worried about the drive home because we were gonna drive straight home, and I was like, "Fuck, am I gonna be too tired? Am I gonna be too sleepy?" But dude, my adrenaline was so up just because of like how much fun the show was. Mm-hmm. Like I was awake the whole time. Like me and Jose were just talking about how fucking tight it was, and dude, it was tight.
Yeah,
it was fucking tight.
Sick.
You missed out.
Maybe next time I'll get an invite, dude.
Damn.
No, that does sound.
It was fucking tight, dude. Yeah, and then because I was talking to Gina because she plays bass in Human Garbage every now and then, and I was asking her, I was like, hey, like how often do they have shows here? So they have shows here every weekend, and I was like, is it always like this like packed and just wild? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, damn, like that's fucking tight.
Yeah, I think it's just out here, dude.
Yeah.
So sad to say.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like, because from what I see, a lot of now is just a lot of phones coming out, and I never thought I was gonna be the one to be like, oh, dude, put your phone away. Like, who cares? Because I never cared. Like, I was just like, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like I was always like that too, even at a young age. Like, I'm like, why do you want to, like, I'm telling you, dude, nobody goes back and like looks at it and like, dude, it's so sick, and like it sounds like shit, it looks like shit. Like, no, you're not gonna go back and watch it. Like, you just want it to. I don't know why. I feel like it's almost just a habit now.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, there was just that one guy. He goes by I spent a long time dying on Instagram. He's like an old school camcorder, but he was like right there. He's like fucking rocking out and just recording everything. Dude, it was tight. Yeah, it was tight. What else did I want to mention? I don't remember what else I wanted. There was something else, but I can't remember. I should have wrote it down, even though fucking taking notes and shit. What have you been up to?
Chilling.
Damn.
Chilling mad hard.
Damn.
No, dude, I've been taking my camera a little bit more. That's why I hit you up last week, and I forgot what you ended up. You ended up saying you were busy, even though I'm pretty sure you're just here doing nothing.
Wait, was it on Sunday?
I don't remember.
Where you text me like, "What are you doing today?" And then right immediately after, you're like, "Oh wait, you're at work." LOL.
Which is funny because I was at work too. So
stupid ass.
Yeah, because I'm slowly starting to get my creative juices flowing again. I'm like, I wanted to meet up so we can like plan some stuff to film out.
Finally, dude.
But yeah, I know.
Just start filming whatever.
That's what I've been doing. Like I've been just carrying it with me, and I ordered a tripod, like a good one.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was a pre-order.
Damn.
But it should be released on the 10th, which is almost here.
I like how you looked at your wrist.
There's no watch on it.
There's no watch on it. And it's not even like you did it as like a bit because there's no video. like who did you do that for? Like,
I don't know. And it's not even like a habit because I don't even wear watches.
Exactly, dude. Damn, this is your boyfriend. This is your boyfriend.
Might be watching, dude.
Somebody might be watching.
Get it?
Jose.
Damn. That was tight.
No, Jose kept telling me, like, dude, you guys gotta start filming. Like, you guys, you know how he likes to hype us up, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I want him to be a part of it too, because I know he'd like, I know how he is, and he'd get really into it.
Yeah,
like doing like characters and stuff. I feel like he would be like,
no, but he was saying filming the podcast.
Oh, that too. That one's an easy one. I don't know why we don't.
I mean, I'm down. No, you know, I think the reason because I'm lazy.
Yeah. No. So I want to do that, but I want to have like segments where like it's not just like us doing this, because I don't know, like I wouldn't want to sit unless maybe we're interviewing someone, but I wouldn't want to watch a podcast that's like over an hour and just watching two guys talk. Because I'd rather just listen to it instead.
Well, that's why the ones we have done, I'll include like images or pictures of whatever we're talking about. See, I just said images or pictures. That's the same thing. Yeah, images or videos.
That's what I in my head that made sense. If it was that. But yeah, I feel like that's the way to go about it. Yeah. Or if it's like something short, like maybe we're like reacting to something.
Yeah.
And when I say reacting, I don't mean like our facial expressions, like oh man, like us kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like reacting is not the word, I guess.
So okay. You brought up reacting and it made me think of what I wanted to bring up. Are you into like reaction videos at all?
No, I hate
anything. That. Okay, so there's sometimes like I know this like shows me how fucking bored I get. I'll look up reaction videos to like just random shit.
When you asked me that, I was in my head. I'm thinking movies or trailers.
Just anything.
I don't like watching trailer reactions and stuff like that.
No, yeah, I don't.
I guess like memes, like funny memes or videos. If it's like somebody, I don't know, like I don't know. I guess it just depends on who's doing it.
So the most of the reaction shit that I do look up when I'm bored is like music related. Like either somebody reacting to something they've never heard or is like out of their realm of genre that they listen to, you know? It's usually stuff like that. And that's when I realize like, damn, I'm fucking bored because I'm watching this shit right now. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I had mentioned previously that I was like getting into like this hip hop beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
Yeah, it's been popping up on my feed, dude.
Okay, so after we did the episode where I mentioned it and I said like Drake released a diss and I was like, oh, it's actually pretty good. like after we recorded that, he released another diss that was fucking awful.
Drake?
Yeah, because in my opinion, I thought it was fucking terrible and it was a terrible idea because he used AI to do Tupac's voice and Snoop Dogg's voice.
That sounds weird.
It was fucking weird.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird. And I mean, I kind of get why he did it because those are like Kendrick's two like heroes in hip hop. But still, it was fucking weird. And to the point, like Tupac's estate sent him a cease and desist.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And so I was like, whatever. And then everybody started hyping up, like, when's Kendrick going to respond? When's Kendrick going to respond? And he responded. And I liked the song a lot. Like, it's he goes hard at him, whatever. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because I got so into, like, this beef and that song that I started looking up people reacting to the diss track. And as I'm looking up these videos and watching, like, clips of these videos, I'm just like, I hate this.
You're going down a rabbit hole. Dude.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Like, the reaction these people like convey is like, it seems so fake and so performative, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Because they like act like they're losing, like it's the craziest shit they've ever heard. They're like, oh my god, like what the? And I'm just like, dude, like, relax.
Yeah, it's like when like reels pop up and like YouTubers talk a certain way, like they just can't have a normal voice anymore because like it's not engaging enough. You know, it is weird, but I feel like it's just attention spans are so like low now.
Yeah,
that's like you need that like high like energy right away, or else you're just gonna swipe and go on to the next video.
Yeah, and like a lot of these videos are like 20, 30 minutes long. The song is like 6 minutes. And then I noticed a pattern in a lot of these videos is that they would stop it a lot and be like, damn, that was crazy. And then repeat the verse from the song and then rewind it and play that verse again. And then the song continued playing. There was literally only one video that I actually thought, I was like, okay, I like this reaction. Because the guy just let the song play in full and you just see his facial reactions to shit. He doesn't comment anything until the very end.
After.
And he gives, But like, so for example, there's a moment in the song, it's at the beginning, like where the beat transitions into like a more like a hard hitting beat, but it goes silent and he says, Kendrick says, don't tell no lies about me and I won't tell no truths about you. And I noticed this was a part of the song. A lot of these reaction videos would stop it after he says this and they're like, damn, he just said, don't tell no lies about me and I won't tell no truths about you. Like, oh, this is in reference. And it's very self-explanatory. Like,
yeah, like anybody who's researching this or watching this already knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just annoying me, but I could not stop looking. Like, I would stop watching it and then watch a different one. I'm just like, dude, I hate this. But I kept watching.
Dang, dude. It was just a rabbit hole you're going down.
It was a rabbit hole I was going down.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I'm just happy there's diss tracks again.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a...
And then there was when we were in midnight hour and we were talking about the beef, and then I asked Sergio, I was like, I wonder if, like, is there any diss tracks in like any other type of music, like besides hip hop, like diss tracks like where they're blatantly talking shit about somebody else, and he was like listing off a bunch, like in punk and metal, and I was just like, really, it was like kind of catching me by surprise, and he would like explaining. Like, oh, this is a diss track to this because, like, of this or... And I was like, damn. And it just cemented the fact, like, dude, I want to have Sergio on. Like, I definitely want to pick his brain. Because then I even asked him that question, what movie perfectly... has a perfect or a good representation of punk?
And what did he say?
He said SLC Punk. And as me and Jose started laughing, and he's all like, no, think about it. Rich kid... who has everything given to him, but wants to dress like shit and just go to these shows because that's the cool thing to do. He's all, that is what modern punk is.
Yeah, dude. Remember that? It's funny that you say that. 'Cause remember that documentary that we saw about punks, and like I just remember hating it.
Which one?
What was it called?
Are you talking about Los Punks?
Is it that one?
The one
where they're just interviewing a bunch of punks and they're like, "Oh, we just want to like have fun and fuck shit up."
it was like from LA and stuff.
Yeah,
I think you're thinking of Los Punks.
I don't remember. I just remember thinking like, like kind of getting triggered by it, because I was like, dude, this is like pissing me off.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I think that is what punk is. I just think that me and our, like, it's gonna sound so shitty to say, but I just feel like our group of friends were just smarter.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like I guess they took it a little more serious to the point where like I was, because like I would go to like shows, like, you know, a showcase, and I would see those idiots there, but then I would always have my group of friends, and we'd, you know, I mean, it would just be totally different from that. So like watching that documentary, I'm like, ew, where'd you find these people? Like, fucking smelly asses. Like, but yeah, that is true. Like,
Yeah.
there is no like movie that's ever gonna represent punk the way we saw it.
Yeah.
Because
unless we make it.
There's not enough of us, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Punks are cringy, dude.
Yeah. Good thing I was never punk. I was new metal.
Damn.
No,
That's
cool
cringy
one.
too.
The cool one.
Yeah, it's not cringy at all.
No, new metal's cool now, dude.
Yeah, it is cool.
Hardcore kids love new metal.
Yeah. I feel like that's so lame because like I feel like they've always loved it, but when it wasn't cool, they like, oh, I don't listen to that shit, blah blah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Hell yeah, I was rocking out to Mushroom Head. What's up?
Yeah, that's a cool thing. I feel like you've always held it like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I still do. Because from day one when I met you, like you were always like, yeah, I like that shit.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, homie.
Like I remember there was kids that would like, they would be like, oh, I don't like Slipknot, shit's gay. You know, it's just like now that they're, you know, that new metal's in, everyone's like, oh, it's cool, blah blah.
Yeah, it's just funny because like, what's it called? Sick New World just happened, and like, it's just funny to see Slipknot get all this love from hardcore kids, and yeah, like I agree. Like I think they've always liked them. It was just like there was a time when it wasn't cool to like them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck Slipknot.
I don't know. They suck now, dude.
Nah, I still like them. But I'm also very like, I guess I like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I also don't like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I feel like you're with music the same way you are with movies, where it's like
easy to please.
Yeah, you can take stuff and just take it as entertainment.
Yeah.
And you're not like, I don't know, anal about it.
Yeah. I
guess like most people are. But then you are picky enough to like understand like what I'm watching is kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel like I could be like that with some music, but movies, I don't know, it's harder for me.
Yeah. I think I'm more picky with horror movies than anything.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Sick ass Marvel.
Damn, we watching Deadpool Wolverine or what?
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know.
I'm watching it. I don't care. I just rewatched Deadpool 2 earlier this week.
Yeah.
I still like it.
I did enjoy the first one a lot.
Yeah.
The second one was all right, but yeah, I like the first one a lot more. But now it's Fox, huh?
What do you mean?
Fox owns Deadpool now, right? So
Fox doesn't exist anymore.
What? Oh, Disney owns
Disney
Fox.
owns it, yeah.
So Fox ain't a thing anymore?
No.
Okay.
You haven't noticed? Like, you know, the dun, 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 dun. It doesn't say 20th Century Fox anymore.
No.
It says 20th Century Studios.
Mm.
Or
Okay.
Fox Searchlight, their like indie studio.
So
it's just Searchlight now.
Okay. So, but it is the first Disney Deadpool one, right?
The first
Since they took over?
Yeah, the next one is coming. Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I saw the trailer and dude, they say fuck so much in that trailer. So I'm like, okay, they're making it obvious they're going for the R.
Yeah.
Because they say fuck a lot in that trailer. So I think it's gonna be the first Disney R-rated Marvel movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 Yeah, think about that one or what?
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, because I thought for some reason I was thinking Guardians was rated R or no.
No, they do say fuck in it though.
But you're allowed to say like one fuck, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Dang.
All right. You ready to talk about these?
Wait, before.
Okay.
Any aside from what we're gonna talk about, did you watch anything else?
No.
Because I watched Men finally.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to rewatch that because I feel like I didn't understand it,
dude. So after watching it, I feel like I had pretty good grasp on like what the ideas were, and like a lot of it was straightforward. Some of it was like, okay, what does this represent or this and that? Because it had a lot of religious stuff in it.
Yeah.
A lot of like feminists, a lot of like toxic masculinity, and I think it's funny, dude, because I when I was like just watching reviews on YouTube of like people's like reactions to it, like what they think, you know, certain things about the movie represented and all that. There's two types of people that hated it, and they're the complete polar opposites of each other. So a lot of guys hated this movie.
Oh yeah.
Because it was about them. It was critiquing their shit.
Yeah.
And you can tell which it's like the fucking army, you know, toxic men. And the other side, girls with colored hair hated this movie. I'm like, damn. So in a way, this movie kind of made them kind of agree on one thing, I guess.
Do you know? Okay, so I think the type of the type of woman that didn't like this movie was because it was written and directed by a man, and it's supposed to be like a story of like how toxic men are, basically. Yeah. So I think the gripe was that it was written and directed by a man.
Yeah, and the director talks about that too. Yeah. And even the first words you see in the movie or you hear, I don't remember the exact same thing, but the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of like, even though like what we're telling you is kind of straightforward, doesn't make it not true.
Yeah.
And the director has gone on to say like, it's titled Men. Like you're automatically gonna you're gonna have opinions on it just by the title.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're gonna have opinions on it because a guy wrote this.
Yeah.
And it's talking about men, and like, but it's true. Like everything in that movie is true. So it's like, just because it's written by a guy, like, are you really gonna be that mad about it?
Yeah.
Like, and I was thinking about all these movies that are like, I guess I don't even know if you'd be able to call them like kind of, I guess pro woman. Like Suspiria, I think is the remake.
Yeah.
I think that's a total feminist film.
Yeah.
And even like the cast is like 99% female, and written by a guy.
Yeah.
Directed by a guy. Annihilation is another one. It's the same guy that did Men. But nobody got mad at that movie.
Yeah.
It has a lot of the same ideas, but they're just not as straightforward.
Yeah. And
I could see it being like, it does beat you over the head with it, but like the director said, like it's called Men. Like, yeah. And even the thing in the beginning, it says it's gonna be straightforward. And to me, I thought it was a good movie. I loved the visuals in it though.
Yeah, like that's one thing I do remember.
It floored me, dude. Yeah. I was like, oh my god, this is like one of the prettiest looking films I've ever seen.
Yeah,
so good. That tunnel scene, do you remember it?
It's been like I said, I gotta rewatch it.
Dude, it blew my mind. Like, there's so much storytelling without any words.
Yeah,
and there's like stuff that I noticed, and I'm like, wait, did I see that correctly or did I not? Like, there's just a lot of things in the movie. Like, I want you to watch it again so we can kind of talk about it a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's gonna get a lot of hate because of what it is, but it's, you know, I mean, if it's pissing off toxic guys, then who cares? Like, yeah. let them piss them off. Who cares?
I don't understand that type of stuff, like the hate for a movie because, so okay, on the spectrum of like, people are hating this movie because it was written by a man. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't get it. I feel like that's the same thing as like people that get mad because they recast a character like the different race from its original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Ariel's not black. Like to get mad at something like that, like I don't understand that.
Yeah. And especially this movie, like a lot of the critiques, like, oh, it's just beating you over the head with it, and I'm like, you're kind of missing the point. Like,
yeah,
that is the point of the movie.
That's the point of the movie.
But there's so much more about it. Like at the end, it's a guy giving birth to himself over and over and over again. And it's like it's so in your face, and it's just like it's meant to kind of aggravate you a little bit and be like, this is all shitty. Like if men could give birth, imagine how shitty those kids would be.
Yeah.
And like they would give birth to many versions of themselves. The woman would have no say, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, that's a lot of that to me, that's what that last scene represented. It's like if men could give birth, like it'd be the most toxic shit ever, dude. They'd be giving birth to themselves over and over again. And it's kind of obvious, but it's like at the same time, like it looked fucking dope. Like it was a cool visual, and I mean, I don't know, like I don't know, like I liked it. I don't know if I would own it. Like I don't know if I loved it, but I would want to watch it again just because I feel like there is some stuff I missed too.
Yeah.
But visually, man, I thought it was a striking film. Like, like, and this guy, like, he went from like polished looking movies to something that just looks more obscure, and like he really like messed with like, I guess like foreground like stuff. Like I don't know, it's weird to explain. I want to go more in depth about it, but
I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, I did watch that. And then one last thing. This will be quick. I finished the latest season of
True Detective.
True Detective.
All right, real quick, what'd you think?
I hated it.
Why?
I hated it, dude.
Really?
To me, the way it ended was the same feeling I get when which I know you hate, is when it was all a dream.
Yeah.
To me, it just felt like a cop-out because they don't answer what happened to them.
That's what I liked about it.
I hated that.
No, that's what I liked about it. So the way I saw it was like, okay, they're trying to give you this answer like, oh, it was the women the whole time that like killed them, whatever. But there's a lot of things that I was like, okay, but who put the tongue there? Who put the severed tongue there? And like,
yeah,
you know, and just like they were trying to tie up a lot of things like very neatly. But to me, I feel like that all that was a lie. That's not really what happened, and we still don't know what really happened, and that's what I like about it.
I wanted to know what happened, dude.
No, dude, I love the mystery of it. That's why I liked about it.
Because the whole time, dude, like they built this beautiful sculpture of these bodies that it looked like horrific, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're like, oh, the whole fucking time, like, dude, what fucking happened to them?
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, when that veterinarian goes in and he's like, no, these guys died before they were put in the snow. So then, like, at the end, I'm like, okay, they're gonna show what happened to them, and then like after when they froze, like what's going on, and nothing, dude. I'm just like, oh.
No, that's what I liked about it. So okay, let me ask you: do you think? Oh, fuck, I forgot her name. The cop. Do you think she's dead? Not Jodie Foster, the other one. Because you know how at the end she kind of like walks off onto the ice.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think she's dead?
Mm-mm.
I think she's dead.
Because doesn't she appear again? Like,
yeah, but they don't interact. And then if you see how the shot, like how it's shot, there's like a door frame that separates them. They don't interact, and she like just like they look peaceful.
Maybe.
I don't know. I liked it. I did like it.
I don't know. I liked it up until the last episode.
No, I liked it. A lot of people hate it though, and you just added to that. So.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot that I didn't like about it, but it's just it'll take me too long to explain here. But yeah.
All right, ready?
Let's get into it.
So we watched The Green Inferno.
Wait, very quickly. Did you watch the original?
Of what? Green Inferno? You mean Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna be talking about the Planet of the Apes What is the reboot trilogy or prequel trilogy? It's a prequel.
They're prequels.
Okay.
A lot of people are calling them reboots. I'm like, there's.
It's not really
It's not rebooting anything.
Yeah, unless we'll see where the new one goes.
So, well, I kind of have an idea of where it's gonna go, but we'll talk about it.
All right. So, I've never seen the originals.
Ever.
Like the Charlton Heston one. Like I've never seen it. I just know, like, I've seen, like, the famous clip, like, oh, damn you, you maniac. Yeah. Or, like, the clips of, like, the only good human is a dead human, which, because of Crossed Out, they Crossed Out used that in one of their songs. But I've never seen the Charlton Heston one. I've seen the Tim Burton one, and I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, but I don't remember anything really from it. I remember Mark Wahlberg is in it. I do remember thinking, like,
You don't remember the ending?
Yeah, like the Abraham Lincoln. Yeah. Ape Abraham Lincoln. But I do remember feeling impressed by how the apes looked in that one, in the Tim Burton one.
Yeah.
But other than that, I have no knowledge of like Planet of the Apes or.
So I think the original one is based on a book, but the original movie got released in 1968, I believe. Yeah, and it stars Charlton Heston. And dude, I rewatched it, I think yesterday, and I haven't seen this since like maybe like freshman and sophomore year high school, and I loved it, dude.
Really?
It's so good.
It holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like the whole time I'm thinking, I was thinking back to the Tim Burton one. I'm like, that the suits looked really good. Like it looked awesome. And I was kind of like curious to see like how shitty they looked in this one. And they don't like, they're obviously from like a different era, but they look good, dude.
Yeah.
Like they move, like they obviously a lot of work went into the suits. Like it wasn't just like a shitty 60s movie that they didn't have a budget. They just threw like a suit with like a monkey face on it and that's it. Like no, these things I don't know if they had like electronics in them or something, but they moved. Like it looked good for what it was. And there's a lot of shots and I'm like, dude, this is a pretty movie. Like a lot of like shots in the desert with the sun beaming. Like I don't know where it was filmed, and I was supposed to look it up because I was so curious because they have a lot of wide shots of like pretty landscapes and people walking. But I loved it, dude. I after because I watched the trilogy and then I watched the original. After watching it, dude, this one kind of it's kind of like a mirror of us, humanity.
Yeah.
And the trilogy kind of taps into it, but like in the original one, you kind of like it kind of makes you see how shitty religion is, and how we use that to like, I guess our advantages to make us feel like we're superior to everyone, and it kind of you posted a quote on Instagram like a day or two ago. Do you remember what it was?
Oh, your beliefs don't make you a good person. Your behavior does.
Yeah, and that popped up in my head while I was watching it, dude. Because these apes feel so superior to these humans, and it's funny, like, they have like a lot of like I guess quotes like "oh monkey see, monkey do," but they changed it to human. You know how these humans are. Human see, human do. Like, it's pretty funny, but. Yeah, they use like religion to like show their superiority, like and so in the original one, Charlton Heston is an astronaut. He's on a space shuttle with I think like it was 4 other members, and they crash land on a planet. It's like very isolated. They think they're alone. They don't know like where they are. One of them predicts that they're about like I forgot I think it was a couple of light years away from Earth or whatever, like super far away, and they're trying to figure out like where exactly they are, then trying to see if there's any life out here, and I think in human years, I think they were only gone for like a decade. But because of relativity, I think they were gone for 2,000 years. So it's been 2,000 years since they left Earth.
Yeah.
But they're not old because of,
Yeah.
in Earth years, it was only like a couple years. So they're walking around. Eventually, they get discovered by the apes, and they run into other humans before that, and they are wild. They're just like monkeys. Like they don't have they don't talk. They're just like out in the wild, like picking fruits from trees. Like I think they're naked, and they get the astronauts get captured along with them by the apes. And Charlton Heston's character gets shot in the throat, so he can't talk. And so they think he's just a wild monkey. They call him Bright Eyes in that because he has blue eyes. And they put him in a cage. This ape named Nova, who's like a researcher, she kind of sees that he's a little bit smarter than the other humans. He just can't communicate. Like he can't talk because he got shot in the throat. But she quickly realized that he can write, and he starts like telling him like, hey, like I came from another planet. I'm crash landed here. Like I'm human, but I'm not like these other humans. Trying to explain that she's trying to kind of set him free to kind of show that, hey, like there's like we're not like the superior animals that we think we are. Like. And there's a council of orangutans, I think. What was Maurice in the Planet of the Apes? Orangutan, right?
Yeah.
So, and they know about humans, but they try to keep it hush. So they're trying to like dismiss him as being like, oh no, he just a human who picked up some tricks or whatever. And then eventually, they're trying to like, what is that called? Where they fuck with your brain. Lobotomy.
Lobotomy, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to give him a lobotomy. He ends up escaping. They capture him, and that's where you get the famous line, "Get your hands off me, you damn dirty ape." And they're like, "Oh shit, he can talk. Like this human can talk. Like what the fuck?" Everyone's thrown off, so they pretty much take him to court to see what they're gonna do with him. They want to give him a lobotomy, and Nova and this other, I think his name is Cornelius, another ape, and they try to set him free, so they rescue him. And long story short, they discover a cave with like reminiscences of like a doll, like a little doll that talks. So there's clearly signs that humans talked once.
Yeah.
And they're not sure what happens because they even mention it in the thing. They're like, they have perfect throats to talk. Like they're able to speak if they wanted to. It's just something in their brain that's not letting them.
Yeah. And
at the end, you get the famous twist ending, I guess. It's like, oh, he discovers that...
damn yous all to hell.
Yeah, he discovers that he did crash land on Earth. It was just 2,000 years later.
Damn, spoiler alert.
That movie's from the 60s, dude.
I haven't seen it, though.
If you watch the original trailer, I mean, the original Rise, Because did you notice that it was on TV, the rocket launching in Rise?
No.
Yeah. So
really,
it was in the very beginning. They're like, oh, like the group of astronauts are embarking on their journey and this and that. It's a quick little thing.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So it is a prequel. So from that day, 2,000 years later is where the original one takes place.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's fucking tight. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah. At the end of the original one, he sees a broken Statue of Liberty on the beach. And that's when he's like, fuck, this is Earth.
Yeah.
And that he kind of realizes, like, I'm kind of alone now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the only human left that can talk and smart.
Damn, I want to watch that now.
It's really good, dude. It's really short, too.
I looked up where it was filmed.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the early scenes of a desert-like terrain were shot in northern Arizona, near the Grand Canyon, Colorado River, Lake Powell, Glen Canyon, and other locations near Page, Arizona. Most scenes of the Ape Village interiors and exteriors were filmed on the Fox Ranch in Malibu Creek State Park.
Oh, okay, makes sense. The wide shots make sense. Being Arizona.
Yeah. Damn, no, I didn't know they had the launch and rise.
Yeah, they it's like a quick thing. And I think they even mention it, like they're like saying that they can't get a hold of them, or like they kind of lost them. So
yeah,
because even in the original, it doesn't really explain what exactly went wrong or like how they managed to be that off course, I guess.
Yeah. So what are your so Rise of the Planet of the Apes, first one we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, let's see. Took notes.
All right.
It was released in 2011, directed by Rupert Wyatt. And I brought this up I brought up the page on my computer because there's some things I want to talk about for the second and third movie that I want to mention in this real quick. But the cinematography was Andrew Lesnie, and the music was Patrick Doyle. So this director, cinematographer, and composer did not work on Dawn or War, just on this one.
This one definitely feels like the stepchild of the three.
Yeah. So I remember liking this movie when it first came out, and then watching the next two, and I was like, damn, this movie kind of sucks. Yeah. That was my mindset.
That was my mindset too.
So I rewatched it and I was like, you know what? It doesn't suck.
It's not that bad, dude.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's just like Dark Knight Rises, right?
Yeah. No, what? No, damn it. Erase that.
Erase that. Got him. No, like I was watching, I was like, you know what? Okay. Because I know where this is headed, it makes this movie a lot more rewarding, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of the notes I have are like kind of negatives.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed I was doing that. I was like, damn, there's a lot of... So that's why I decided to do like a little, like what I liked about it right here, whatever. No, it's not.
Hater.
But I did not like the chemistry between James Franco and the veterinarian from the zoo. You know how they start dating or whatever?
Oh, yeah. It felt like...
It felt so like random, so like forced.
And there's no need for it.
Yeah, and it's just like... One thing that I was questioning was like, how did he know to take Caesar there? Because obviously they've never met. Like, how did he know to take him there? And like, why was she so willing to help and not rat him out, basically?
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't like... It was just weird. And then like the whole way he asked her out, because like Caesar's like signing to him.
Yeah.
And she's like, what is he saying? Like trying to be all cute. He's like, he said we should go to dinner. That's kind of creepy. That came off creepy to me.
Yeah. The whole thing it felt, yeah, there's like no chemistry between them.
You know what it reminded me of?
Huh.
Big Daddy, when he's using the little kid to pick up girls at the park.
He's using the monkey for that.
That's what it reminded me of. Yeah. But Big Daddy was better. But yeah, so...
I feel like they could have used the time where it's like them bonding for him and Caesar bond.
Yeah.
It should have been more of that. But
or at least put something where like he's kind of like stressing about like, where am I going to take him to get medical attention? And then he has the idea to go to the zoo, and it's kind of like a thing where like, I need your help, you know, like, can you please help me?
Yeah.
But it's like right away, like it just shows her treating Caesar.
Yeah.
Like no questions asked, like no, like he doesn't like try to convince her, nothing. Like she's just up for it and like doesn't rat him out. Like, cause I would think that somebody would be like, where is this ape from? Like, is this from here, the zoo? Like, where did, like...
Not only that, like I'm pretty sure all that equipment is like super expensive. So I'm sure there's cameras around.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be somebody asking questions like, why is there an ape in here? You know? Like,
yeah. And then there's a moment where like he starts taking Caesar to like the redwoods.
Yeah.
And I'm like getting into our like so this movie is basically about like how the apes started the takeover, basically.
Yeah.
Like how the seed was planted. Mm-hmm. And surprise, surprise, is because of humans.
Yeah.
Basically. Trying to test out an experimental drug to cure Alzheimer's, and it ends up smartening these apes, but becoming deadly to humans when they call it the simian flu. But Yeah, there's a moment where he like starts taking Caesar to the redwoods, and Caesar like extends his hand to ask for permission.
Yeah.
Because that's what chimpanzees do. How does Caesar know to do that? He
If
grew
he's
up.
never been.
He's never been around other chimpanzees. Like
Yeah, that's true.
He's treated as a person at the house. So like, and there doesn't show like anything where James Franco shows him like, oh, this is what you got to do to ask for permission.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nitpicky stuff.
Yeah. But I feel like, I mean, that's what it should have been. Like I'm saying, like you could have been like had a moment where, because he does have like stuff in his room, Caesar, where he can climb and stuff. But it's like, how the fuck did he know how to climb a tree that fast and like that quick? Like he's never been in the wild.
Yeah.
So that part, I was like, it was a little.
I guess you could chalk it up to like he's fucking super smart, and it's just in his genes.
Yeah.
Because he's wearing jeans.
He is.
But yeah, like, that was one, and I didn't like the neighbor.
Oh, that annoying guy.
He was just so like the typical angry guy, like so one-dimensional. Yeah. Dude, this guy has the worst luck. It's fucking, and then, like his reaction to James Franco's dad, John Lithgow, like because he has Alzheimer's and he like doesn't know where he's at sometimes, and he gets in the guy's car. Who leaves their fucking car open like that when they're watching and they're inside their house? Like,
hey, maybe it's a nice neighborhood, dude.
And then the way he reacts to it, like he grabs him by the shirt and like,
yeah, because
how long have they been neighbors? Does he not know this guy's sick?
What does he do to Caesar when Caesar goes over and he
like swings a broom at him, I think, or he does something. Bat. He has a bat.
Yeah,
and he's like threatening to hit him. I think he does hit him like a couple times, but not like.
So, yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, he just wanted to play." Like, which in that instance, I was like, "Okay, I understand." Wild chimpanzee, like maybe he didn't know that they had him over there, and I honestly, I'd probably react the same way. I'd be scared, especially like the kids are right there. You don't know.
Yeah.
So in that scene, I was like, okay, I get it.
But what about when that guy goes over, the other veterinarian?
And he fucking sneezes or coughs in his face?
Blood on him?
That's what I'm saying. This guy has like the worst luck.
But it's funny the way he's like, he like talks to him. He's like, "Who are you?" or something like that.
Yeah. So because at the neighbor's house.
Yeah.
But like going back to the way he reacted to John Lithgow's character, like getting in his car because he's confused.
Uh-huh.
Like they've been neighbors. Like, does he not know that he's sick? Like, why would you react to him this way? Like, why would you be like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like getting all in his face, grabbing his shirt and like point, like he, obviously like doing the whole thing just because to show like Caesar that he's mad.
Yeah, like
because the way he was pointing at his chest, it's like very over dramatic. Yeah. So that was just like, I didn't like that guy. I didn't like that character.
Yeah,
I didn't like that character. But I did like Brian Cox as the lead, the owner or whatever of the sanctuary where they take Caesar, like the villain basically.
Oh, I thought you talk about Malfoy for a second.
No, I don't remember his character's name.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
He was just a dickhead.
Yeah, dude. That's another thing. Yeah. It's like he's just like the typical like
bully.
Yeah, typical bully.
He played Malfoy in Planet of the Apes.
Yes. And then they take their dates there, like.
Yeah, they sneak in overnight, and like he takes like him and his buddy take like girls there. He's like, "You want to see something cool?" And he starts like shocking the monkeys.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck thinks that's cool? Like, who's gonna get impressed by that?
Yeah, that was dumb, dude. And then let's see, what else did I write down? Oh, okay, so the medicine that James Franco is giving his dad, it like helps him, right?
Yeah.
And it's like he's improving, and he's more cognitive, and he even starts improving in every aspect, basically. Like not just getting better, like not just not having Alzheimer's anymore.
Not
like,
going back to normal. He's actually like getting.
Like, yeah, he's improving.
Yeah.
Like, but it starts to wear off.
Yeah, because I think they mentioned that their immune system is like beating it.
Yeah, like so like the virus or the disease is like overpowering like the antibodies and the antibiotics, whatever. So he wants to do a new strain. Like he wants to work on a new one, and he goes back to his boss, and his boss is obviously he was like, no, like it went bad last time, which was ended up being a misunderstanding. But he's like, it went bad last time. I don't want to do it. And then he tells him like, oh, I've been testing my dad with it or whatever, and he's like, no. And he's telling him all these fact or like data or whatever, but not showing anything like any proof, any paperwork, nothing. And he immediately agrees.
He's all right. Just go ahead.
He's like, you know what? Yeah, do it. Like what?
Yeah. I feel like that character that I don't remember the guy's name, but the owner of like, the CEO behind that was also just like another like one-dimensional villain.
Yeah, he was.
Where he's just like
money hungry.
Yeah, a shitty person. There's just a bunch of shitty people. I feel like James Franco's character is like the only good one.
He was kind of shitty too, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to say he was shit. He was dumb. Like he was like kind of dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, I think all around, I think that's the weak point of this film is just the characters.
Yeah.
I do like Caesar.
Oh, dude, Andy Serkis, a whole nother level, dude.
Even throughout
movies.
Like,
the movies, just like, but even with this one, it's just like the way they were able to convey the emotion in Caesar's face, and like just Andy Serkis' performance and like the motion capture and acting like the ape is just like.
Somebody had mentioned. They were talking about the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes, and they were saying that how like even though those suits looked amazing and like they were just like really awesome to look at, they said that because they're actual costumes, you can still tell it's an actor behind it. You can still tell like it's a human in there.
Yeah.
And he said that it was like a wise choice for them to do CGI. And the first one, it's good. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like rewatching it. But once it gets to Dawn and Rise, dude, like, they got an actual ape to be in the movie, dude, to act. Because there's no way that's CGI, dude. It looks good.
It does, dude.
But yeah, I think that's the weak point of the first Rise. It's just the characters are so, like, one-dimensional. Like, super cliche.
Yeah.
And...
like, the Caesar story alone was just so interesting.
Yeah.
Just so interesting and so engaging to see it unfold, to see him like be born and then progress into like this super smart ape and then get caught up in this sanctuary. There's like basically a prison.
How awesome is that scene where he finally talks for the first time when he says no?
Oh, dude.
That gave me goosebumps. Dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
No, I did.
Oh my God.
It did.
And the way they did, I think they mixed Andy Serkis's voice with like I don't know what research they did or whatever, but they got like an actual like they mix it with like an ape voice kind of, so it's like a combination of like a human and ape voice. It's pretty cool.
But, yeah, dude. So the ape that he like, the alpha when he gets there, is that Rocket?
That's Rocket. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I was like, okay. I was thinking about it. And I was like, damn, yeah, that's fucking Rocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole,
because that's one thing I love about this trilogy. It's so like well fleshed out.
Yeah.
Because the characters that are with Caesar from day one from this movie are with him till war.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Yeah.
Because some of them die along the way.
Yeah.
But I love that, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Like Maurice is there. Copa.
Yeah.
Which ends up being like the villain in the next one.
Which I feel Toby Kebbell as Koba doesn't really get talked about a lot.
I know.
Because of like Andy Serkis. Mm-hmm. But dude, even he was amazing.
They're all good. You know, Maurice is played by a woman too.
Oh, really?
It was a woman. I don't know why they got Maurice to, like, it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like, everyone, all the apes are good.
Yeah, dude. I'm trying to see. Let's see. Karen Konoval. That's who plays Maurice. I don't know who that is. But yeah, that's who plays her. She's a Canadian-American actress who has appeared in theater, numerous TV series, and supporting lead roles in many feature films. Her screen credits include Maurice Orangutan in the Planet of the Apes prequel trilogy.
Yeah, see, yeah, I was kind of like, whoa, that's crazy. But yeah, I love that the characters are kind of like there from the beginning, and their friendships develop.
Yeah, but yeah, like Koba, he's the one that like they test the new strain on like first, and like he's showing like rapid like development and intelligence, and he's the one like because they comment on the fact that like oh like he's very still while they're testing him. Like yeah, this ape has been in so many labs, like he knows the routine.
That's why like he's one of my favorite characters because he has a fucked up he has scars all over his body. His face is fucked up. He has like one blind eye.
Yeah,
and you can like that's why like well I'll get into it more in the when we talk about the next one. But like you could already like I already felt bad for him.
Yeah,
like I'm just like and he looks scary, dude. Like
fuck yeah,
tell,
he
like,
does.
He's an experiment of like human shittiness, dude.
Yeah.
Like experimentation on animals, and this movie kind of touches on that, dude. You know, just like apes being in a lab, and they're always like the ones that are being tested on, dude. It sucks.
Yeah.
But overall, dude, I liked it more than I thought I was gonna like it. Because I remember thinking like, oh, this is like the weak one, and it is out of the three, but it wasn't as bad as I remember it. It has some funny characters that are just like kind of like, you know, one dimensional, like I said. But overall, like I think it does its job. I guess that's the first one.
Yeah, like another thing that kind of like was bothering me about it was so the guy that gets sick, because he gets exposed to the new strain of like the antidote for Alzheimer's, whatever. So when they initially get shut down, his job is to put down all the apes, and he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
he's like, no, like that's fucked up. You know, I don't want to do this, and that's where they discover Caesar. And then he tries to give him to James Franco's character and is like, hey, like just for a couple days until I find a home for him, you know? And he's like, no, this is not my responsibility. And he tells him like, okay, then you do it basically.
Yeah.
And gives him like the shot. Obviously he doesn't do it. But so I would think like, okay, his character, he's done with it, like whatever. But I feel like he came back too easily to continue doing these tests.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it should have been more of a fight with him. Or at least have his character be the one to be like, no, why, like, be so against it? Like it's just gonna end up being the same guys. You shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I felt like that's what they were setting up with his character, but that's not what happened.
I feel like that should have been James Franco's character.
Yeah, and he kind of was because when Jacobs, that's the owner's name, Jacobs, that's his last name. When Jacobs is like. He finds out that he's continuing testing on multiple apes because initially they were just going to do Koba and then do blood tests and like just to see how he's progressing before they do all the apes. And Jacobs approves like them doing it on all the apes and he gets mad. He's like, no, we got to monitor it. Like we got to make sure it's okay. And in that moment I was like, but you just got there from your house where you were giving it to your dad. Like this new strain.
And you're scared about giving it to apes.
And then and you're being so adamant on not doing it on the other apes yet because you want to see if it's okay, but you already gave it to your dad.
Yeah,
that's why I kind of said like he's dumb.
Yeah,
like they made his character kind of dumb because like, and then he tells him like, oh, I quit then, and then that's when like shit hits the fan. And fucking Caesar escapes the sanctuary, gets those gas canisters from the house, and infects the rest of the apes, so they become smart too.
And then you get the bridge scene where they're trying to get
to the
redwoods.
I thought was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
That I feel is the strongest point of the movie, like that whole sequence.
Yeah. Once Caesar, I'm telling you, once he speaks those words, from there on, it's like, it starts like, you know, it starts like kind of, I don't know, I guess action starts, but. Yeah, you get that famous bridge scene, and you get that like I like how like it's not like super crazy.
Yeah.
So like that makes like the few parts that are like kind of like that are kind of crazy. Like it amplifies them a lot. Like the gorilla jumping on the helicopter scene.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that's so tight, dude.
Yeah.
And he kind of kamikazes that shit. Like he knows he's gonna die doing this, but he does it for the apes.
Yeah.
And that's the one cool thing about these movies. Like the apes have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they will die for one another. Like they're, and that's the thing that, you know, that's Caesar's thing. It's he thinks that apes are superior to humans because we won't kill each other.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's kind of funny because that's how the apes see the humans in the original.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, these guys is like, they're just wild animals, like they're not civilized and this and that. And they're like, oh, well, we got religion, we're civilized, you know, like, but yeah. So I thought that was cool, and that ends up becoming like his thing in the second one in Dawn.
Yeah.
Like apes don't kill apes.
Yeah.
And that alone is what he feels like. It's like that's the biggest separation from humans to apes.
Yeah.
Like we're above that. We won't kill each other.
Yeah.
And then eventually Copa fucks that up.
Yeah. So yeah, the next one is Dawn, and in my opinion, like far improves on like what I guess what I didn't like about the first one. Like this one, it was kind of hard to find things I didn't like about this movie. You know, because I told you, like, as I was watching it, I noticed that's what I was doing, writing down what I didn't like. And the very first thing I wrote down was apes able to keep up with cars? ? Because so Dawn, it opens up with Caesar's face, like a close up of his face, and he has like the war paint on, and you think like, oh shit, like they're at battle or whatever, and there's like a bunch of them, but they're hunting.
Yeah,
they're hunting, and he's teaching his son to hunt basically. And then like they get attacked by a bear. Koba saves them, and like they laugh it off, whatever, you know. And then I believe it's Rocket's son and Caesar's son. They're like just walking, right? And then that's when they encounter the humans.
They encounter one human, right?
They encounter one human, yeah. And he like freaks out and shoots Ash, which is Rocket's son.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the apes show up, and Caesar tells him to like go. Which, okay, at this point, this movie takes place 10 years after the events of Rise.
Yeah.
So do they not know that the apes are like super intelligent? Or is it just one of those things where like, oh, I heard like...
I think it just became, because I think they just did such a good job of hiding in the woods, staying away, because the humans were destroying each other.
Yeah, that's true.
They were just panicking. So maybe it's one of those like things where like, oh, well, we kind of heard rumors. Like we heard about this like urban legend of Caesar.
Because like throughout the movie, like the human characters were like, they're animals, like they're apes. Like what do you expect?
So that's what I'm saying. But some of them kind of theorized like, oh, like we've heard stories about them. So maybe it was just like this myth they've heard.
Yeah.
And he kind of mentions that like that humans destroyed each other.
Yeah.
And that's why like we're just in our own little bubble here, like in the redwoods, and this is our part, and that's it. We don't want to have anything to do with humans.
Yeah. They destroyed each other because they couldn't properly organize during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Basically.
Basically. Much, yeah.
Because that's what happened, like a fucking pandemic, the simian flu. But yeah, so so they encounter them, and then Caesar tells them to leave, and they leave, and then he instructs Koba, follow them. Yeah. See where they're going. And they leave in cars.
Well, the way I kind of thought about that too, but I'm like, there's probably a lot of debris on the roads, so they probably have to like go around a lot of cars and shit.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm thinking. And then you can't really go fast like when you're out in the redwoods either.
That's true.
You're in the wild, but because I thought about that too. I'm like, how do they keep up with the cars? I'm like, well, there's a lot of shit in the way.
They're probably not driving that fast either to conserve fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Yeah, you're right. Hey, you're right.
You're right.
And then one thing I noticed, like from their like little base area where they're like living, like the main rock that Caesar like stands on to like address everybody, It has the symbol of the window. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh yeah. The symbol of the attic that he lived in when he was in Rise.
Yeah, so it has that symbol, and I noticed I was like, oh shit, that's tight, because like they don't make it obvious that like, oh look,
it's like if you catch it, you catch it.
So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
what's the guy that directed?
Matt Reeves. Okay, yeah. So this one came out 2014, directed by Matt Reeves, and so I wrote down. Let me see. I wrote it on this one. So on this one and War, the cinematography was by Michael Saracen, who did the cinematography for Rambo 3, Prisoner of Azkaban, Life of David Gale. Like, there's just some notable movies that he did. And then the score was Michael Giacchino, who did the scores for movies like Incredibles, Speed Racer, Cloverfield, the Star Trek trilogy, Inside Out. There's a bunch. He did a bunch of like Marvel, Star Wars stuff.
They got like heavy hitters for this, for the next two.
And the reason I wrote those down, and I didn't write those down until I saw the third movie, was because this one and the third one, like, they look beautiful.
Yeah. Dude.
So like I wanted to write down the cinematographer's name because it looks so good. And the score, like I loved the music, like a lot of the build up stuff, a lot of like the epic battle like sequences, like
even like the more like somber moments, like the sad ones with the little piano playing, like, it's so catchy but sad.
Like, like it adds so much more to it. So like that's why I wanted to write those down. And then like none of that really stood out to me in the first one.
No, not at all.
So that's why I never wrote it down.
There was no shot that was like, damn, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Like in the first one.
Yeah, but this one I did notice a lot of the themes for this one were like how paranoia and fear can affect your judgment on things. Mm-hmm. Because so you have Caesar, who's like more what can you describe him as? Like, I guess empathetic like character, because he's trying to keep the peace.
He's
trying to keep the peace, and then the same thing with the human counterpart. Malcolm is the character's name. He's the same way, like trying to keep, because the whole purpose of the humans being up in the mountain because they're looking for a dam to get the dam started again, so they could get electricity because they're running low on fuel and they're running low on resources, and they feel like if they get this dam running, it'll help a lot. And so they don't fucking die off.
Yeah, but to get the dam to work, they need to go through the apes.
They basically, because it's like by their home, and the apes don't want them near. And so Gary Oldman's character, he's like, no, let's just go up there, kill them all, and do it. Mm-hmm. But he's like, no, like, I don't want to do that. You know, like, we got to keep the peace. Caesar, the same thing. I want to keep the peace. So he agrees to let them work. Koba does not trust them. At all, which understandably.
That's what I love about Koba's character, man. Because like, even though he's like, no, let's just wipe out the humans.
Yeah.
You understand why, like how many like even in the beginning they kill fucking Rocket's son.
Yeah.
And
no, he doesn't die.
Ash.
Yeah, he just gets shot.
Oh, he doesn't die.
No, he does. He does die in the movie, but that's not when he dies.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So, like, I mean, just by looking at Koba, like we mentioned earlier, he's fucking scarred up. He's a product of like human experimentation. So you completely understand why he doesn't trust. And even Caesar mentions it at the end. He's like, Koba like only learned hate from humans.
Yeah.
He never saw like the good side of any of them.
Yeah.
So he doesn't trust them. So you understand where he's coming from.
Because there's even that scene where Koba's questioning him, like, why are you letting them? Why do you trust them?
Yeah.
And he tells him, like, just let the humans do their work and they'll leave. Just let them do their human work. And Koba just looks at him and he says, like, human work? Like, questioning it. And then he points to his scars. He's like, human work.
Yeah.
This is human work. Dude, that scene, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's this back and forth between Caesar and him, and like you understand both. You understand that Caesar doesn't want more apes to die.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to lead them to war. But you also understand that the humans are pieces of shit too.
Yeah.
And so you understand Koba's side too, and you're like kind of worried like they can easily wipe out the apes, so like maybe Koba's right. Maybe they could like, get the upper hand and just go attack them now, like while they, are while they're not expecting it. So it's just like, that's what I love about this movie, dude. Like,
yeah, and then like the whole time Koba questioning Caesar's judgment on things, and he's not doing it like initially. He's not doing it for himself. Like he's doing it is like, no, like we got to protect our people, like our clan, basically, And Koba ends up going to like, well, the apes end up helping the humans like clear out debris so the dam could get working, and
they make a deal with them. It's just like, all right, you get in, you do your work, and then you leave us alone.
Yeah, and like Koba takes a couple apes with him and finds like the humans' armory, and like he sees that as like, oh, they're getting ready to attack us.
For war, yeah.
They're getting ready to come and wipe us all out. And he comes back to try to warn Caesar. And that's when he sees like all the apes moving debris, and he's like, what the fuck? Like, cause he sees that as like, oh, they're putting us to work, they're making us slaves, basically. Yeah. And then they have that little battle inside the dam. Caesar overpowers them, and Koba asks for forgiveness. And that's when like that, to me, that's when the plan starts hatching for Koba.
Yeah.
Like he needs to prove to all the apes that the humans can be trusted. And the way to do that is the fall of Caesar, basically.
Yeah.
And since the humans that are there working have the one guy, his character's named Carver, who's the one that's like, no, fuck these apes, like I want to kill them. And he sneaks a gun, and so they already see that he can't be trusted. Koba goes, kills him, takes his gun in his hat.
That was so satisfying, but because I hated that guy.
Yeah, that guy, fuck that guy. Which his character, I feel, is a representation of a racist. Because look at these, they're filthy. Like he's basically the one that's like, they don't look like us. They don't look like me, so I hate them. Like fucking racist right there. That's the definition of a racist. But anyway, like Koba. The humans get the dam working, the lights turn on, and like Malcolm and his wife are like, oh, like I wonder if like the lights are back on in the city. Like we won't know until we get there. And then it shows the people in the city celebrating, because the lights are on and everybody's happy. And then Caesar takes them to like the top of the rocks and then shows them like, look, like out in the distance, the lights are on, and everybody's celebrating. Everybody's happy. And then
you even have that moment when the power does go back on, where there's like an abandoned 76 gas station in the redwoods, and they have like one of the guys puts on like a CD or something, and that song "The Wait" plays, and you gotta have like this peaceful moment between humans and the apes, where it's like this nice song playing, and everyone's kind of like, I'm like. It's calm, like it's like the calm before the storm, before the shit hits the fan. Yeah, because like at that moment, that's when Carver, the guy that Koba kills, he hears the music in the distance, and you see him smile, and then he's like, you can see it in his face, like, oh, like we did it, like it's done. And he goes to light a cigarette, and that's when Koba attacks him. And then like, so they're celebrating, and then like, Caesar's wife was sick, and Malcolm's wife ends up treating her and helping her get better. And they're like all like a big happy family, it's like happy, like they're celebrating whatever. And then Caesar like looks down like off the cliff, and he sees Koba on a branch with a gun. Yeah. And Koba shoots Caesar, and Caesar falls over, and you think like, oh shit, he just fucking killed him. But he leaves the gun there with Carver's hat to basically frame the humans. Yeah. And then the two other apes that were helping Koba, they light the fucking place on fire. And then that's when they start to panic. Like, look what humans did. We got to get back at the humans for killing Caesar. And then like, oh dude, that shit was fucking crazy. So then the next scene, you get the humans preparing for the apes because they know they're coming now. Well, they're celebrating. And then, they see them like coming on their horses and like with the, do they have guns at this point? I think they have a couple now. I think they might have a few, but a lot of them have spears. Spears, that's right. Yeah. And but then that's why you get like that cool shot of them riding the horses down the street. Yeah, and then like the humans kind of get happy because a tank comes in from the other side, and Koba takes that over. Dude, that scene is so sick. I love the way that was shot. Dude,
I love the way that was
it's like
shot.
one take, and you see Koba going in, like the camera's like mounted on the tank,
and it's like just spiraling.
Yeah, the whole time the gunner on top of the tank is spinning, and the camera's spinning with it, and you just see like Koba just fucking taking out the people inside the tank.
Yeah,
and you see him like kind of like his half his body's like sticking out of the gunner, and you see the gunner spinning, so you see all this hectic shit going on. But it's like through the POV of you're on the tank.
Yeah.
It's so fucking tight.
Yeah, dude.
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie.
That shit was tight. That shit was tight. And they basically take it over. They take the humans as prisoners, and then the apes. There's a couple apes that they put as prisoners because Koba felt they were too loyal to Caesar. And this whole time, I think his name is Blue Eyes, Caesar's son.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks Caesar's dead.
Yeah.
The humans end up finding him. He's not dead, and they need a place to like heal him, and they take him to his house from the first movie.
Yeah.
Which is overrun with trees, branches. That's another thing. Okay, 10 years. Does it take 10 years for a city to downfall like that? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Think about like in a year, if you don't mow your lawn or anything, that shit's gonna get out of control.
I guess that's true. It just seemed too decrepit, too like run down for it, in my opinion.
I think what added to that too was because like everything was kind of a mess.
Yeah.
So I think that was just from people rioting and stuff too.
Maybe.
I think that's what happened because if nobody like there was nothing crazy like that went on, I feel like it would just be like a normal house. It would just have like weeds and shit all over.
Yeah.
But I think like because all the cars on the road and stuff, it just made it look more hectic than it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, wildlife will take over like pretty quickly.
But yeah, so they go to the house and like they need like stuff to basically do surgery on Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
So Malcolm agrees to like go back to the compound and get some supplies. And dude, the shot there's another shot that's one take where him going and you just see all the apes in the background destroying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then he gets caught by one. And he points a gun at him, and he comes out of the dark, and it's Blue Eyes, Caesar's son. And then he doesn't shoot him, and he's just gonna walk away, let him go. But he tells him like, "Your father's alive," Oh well, before this, when they're gathering up the humans, there's like a human couple on the stairway, and Koba tells Ash, "Kill them," and he hands them like something blunt, to hit him with, and then he like tells him like, no, like Caesar wouldn't want this. And Koba like looks at him and seems like, okay, I understand. But he fucking drags him up to the top and throws him over the edge, killing him. So that's how Ash dies, Rocket's son.
Yeah. I think that was the one scene that it's like, okay, like Koba's out of his fucking mind now.
Yeah. That's where I saw like, oh shit. Oh, thought my nose was bleeding. That's the scene where I was like, okay, he initially was doing this for the better of the apes in his mind. But now he's drunk with power. Yeah,
or he just filled with hate, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he'll do anything to get rid of these humans.
Yeah.
Even if it means killing, like, other apes.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that kind of starts separating the apes because he even holds the ones that he thinks are too loyal to Caesar as prisoners.
Yeah, like Rocket and Maurice are in there. But yeah, so then Blue Eyes finds out that Caesar's still alive and they release the apes and... Then there's this big show. Oh, okay. And then Malcolm is helping the apes get to Koba so Caesar can overthrow him, basically. Mm-hmm. And he finds Gary Oldman with 2 other soldiers, and they're about to fucking blow up the tower.
Yeah, it's like the highest tower in the little city, so like all the apes are on there.
Yeah.
Chilling.
And that's another character, Gary Oldman's character. That's another one where like, I understand why he's doing it.
Yeah.
You get it.
Because he's not exactly like hateful towards the apes, but it's like
he's in survival mode.
Yeah. I feel like Gary Oldman's good in everything, dude.
He can't do bad, he can't give a bad performance.
Like Commissioner Gordon in the Batman movies, like
Dark Knight Rises.
I feel like that's a stupid character. Like I'm never interested, but when he was on there, I'm like,
he's good.
Tight. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He made Sid Vicious a good character. But Yeah, like you get it. You understand. It's like, no, like I gotta take these apes out for the good of like humanity. Same thing Koba was saying, like I gotta take these humans out for the good of the apes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's that same mindset.
That's the thing, dude. Like this movie. That's what I love about this movie because it's like you completely understand both sides.
Yeah.
And it's like you get it.
You get
like,
it. Yeah.
If you were there, you'd be so conflicted. You'd be like, oh shit, am I gonna be loyal to Caesar, or am I gonna be loyal to Koba? Like,
yeah, and
it's
then
so hard.
And like he tells him, like it's too late anyway. We already got soldiers coming.
Yeah.
They know we're under attack. Like even if you stop me, how are you gonna stop them? Yeah. It's too late. And he sacrifices him, fucking blows himself up to blow the tower up.
Yeah.
Which do anything he could to get rid of the apes. Same mindset as Koba. Do anything he can
to save
to
the
get
humans.
rid of.
Which Koba is like to save the.
Yeah. And like then they have the showdown between Caesar and Koba, and I love how like when the apes fight, they don't fight like humans.
No, dude.
They fight like fucking chimpanzees.
That's the thing, dude. Like, I mentioned like the voice earlier, how they mix like human voices and all that.
Yeah.
But that's like I didn't mention like the mannerisms of the apes. Like they're so realistic.
Yeah.
Like they move like apes. They fight like apes. Like man, like yeah, that last fight scene between him and Koba, like oh dude, it's so good. And even watching it now, like knowing that in my head, like oh Caesar wins, like it was still like really like full tension, dude. Like I was still like fuck.
And there was like all these little subtleties too of like showing how much, I guess, more advanced and intelligence that Caesar is over all the, or more, I guess, human-like Caesar is, because when they're going through the tunnel before, like, I guess the tower gets blown up, when they're going through the subway tunnel, all the apes are like jumping over like the little subway gate, you know, the one that turns when you walk through it. Caesar is the only one to walk through it.
Yeah.
All the other apes are jumping over or climbing under, like, he's the only one to walk like normal through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I noticed that, and I was like, that's showing like how more human like he is than the other ones, just because he's more familiar, you know. But the one thing, like once everything is over, like Caesar ends up like I wouldn't say he did kill Koba.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say he let him die, but no, like he let him go.
Yeah.
Because Koba tries to use that against him. Because he's like hanging off the ledge, and Caesar grabs him. Okay, Caesar walks up.
That was like the big thing. Like I think that was like where Caesar had to decide. Because like up until this point, his thing has been like apes don't kill apes.
Yeah. But
he knows that if Koba was to be around and alive, like it was just gonna fuck everything up. Like he's willing to. He saw that he's willing to kill apes and sacrifice apes to get what he wants, and he had to make that decision. Like I'm gonna have to go back on everything I just said. Yeah. And like kill this one ape just to succeed and bring peace.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah, because like he grabs his arm and starts lifting him up, and like Koba, he says like ape don't kill ape.
Yeah.
That's their whole thing.
Man.
And then he looks at him and he said Koba, not ape. And fucking tosses him.
Oh man, and I feel so bad for Caesar too, because dude.
Because like Koba, in my eyes, Koba also showed Caesar that they are just like humans.
Yeah, that was a big arc.
Yeah,
like, it made him realize, and he mentions that like he's like, I thought we were superior. I thought like we were different, but like
we're the same.
We're the exact same.
Yeah,
and man, it was a good ending. And that last like scene where he's talking to, what was his name? Malcolm, and he was saying like, Malcolm mentions like, oh man, I thought we would have made it, like talking about like them like being one, humans and apes, and Caesar mentions like, oh yeah, he's like we can't we can't avoid the war now because humans can't forgive, right, or something.
Yeah, he says that, but so he what he tells him is. Because Malcolm, he kind of has like tears in his eyes. He's like, I thought we were gonna make it, and Caesar's like, I did too. And he tells him this after Malcolm warns him, like, you got to get out of here. Like, they have soldiers coming on the way now. and like you guys got to leave, before they get here, before the war starts. And Caesar tells him, war has already begun. Like apes started the war. Like we can't avoid it now.
Yeah.
Like all we can do is basically fight back. And that's when Malcolm tells him, like, I thought we would have made it. And Caesar says, I did too. And then Caesar stands there like with his wife and his son and his newborn son. And then the only part of this movie I thought was super cheesy was the exit of Malcolm's character.
Oh, when he goes into the shadows?
The way he does it, because he's watching Caesar and like all the apes and like, and it's like pitch black behind him.
Doesn't he walk backwards?
He just walks backwards until it's just the black consumes him basically. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
you mean you don't exit like that?
Nope.
Whenever
all the time
you're chilling with someone, but I'll be like, I gotta go to the restroom. You just back up into darkness.
Fuck. But yeah, that's literally the only thing I thought was like, it kind of took me out a little bit. Other than that, like, this was such a great film.
It was, dude. I mean, it is. I think it's the closest to the original.
Yeah.
Because it has like that duality of like what makes a person civilized and what's what separates us from each other.
Yeah.
Is it just speech?
Yeah.
Like, is that the only reason? Like, and I mean, when you're thinking about it, that is the only reason we're, I guess, superior to everyone, because we have language. That's the only thing that separates us.
But language, it's a form of communication, right? I mean, animals communicate.
Yeah, but not with like language. That maybe they use sign language or like noises, little things like that. But like to have like an actual language where like that's the only thing that's separating us, dude. Like, because if we didn't have it, like we'd be just as much in the jungle as they are.
Yeah.
On that note, I gotta piss really quick.
Damn. All right, go ahead. Right. Damn. So Eddie just took a shit or what? So as you went to the restroom, I like looked at my computer screen because I had the Wikipedia up for Rise. Mm-hmm. Toby Kebbell does not do the motion capture for Koba in Rise. He does the voice. He does the voice for all three, but he only does the motion capture for Dawn and War. I did not know that. Yeah, the motion capture in Rise was done by Christopher Gordon. I wonder why they changed it. I don't know why they changed it up. But let's see. Yeah. So, yeah, Dawn, I wrote down intense, emotional, and engaging. Oh, and the final shot of the movie is a close-up of Caesar's face.
Oh, it zooms in.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so like creepy, dude. Like,
yeah.
Like in a cool way.
So the first shot of the movie and the final shot are of Caesar's face.
In.
Yeah. This movie is the one that made the most money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So the first movie, let's see. I wrote it down. The first movie had a budget of $93 million and it made $481.8 million. This one had a budget of $170 million, and it made $710.6 million.
And that's it.
That's it. But yeah, so then War, I had to like force myself to write stuff down because I was so engaged in this movie.
Dude.
I
have a hard time. I go back and forth with which one's my favorite between Dawn and War.
Yeah, same.
Because they're both so good for different reasons.
Yeah, like, okay, so this one came out in 2017, again, directed by Matt Reeves. This one had a budget of around 152 million, but it only made, I say only, it made 490.7 million.
You think it was just, it's the darkest out of the three?
Definitely, because that's one thing I wrote down. It was definitely pushing the PG-13 rating.
Dude, because like it's pretty much a ape Holocaust movie.
Dude, yeah.
Dude,
some of the images in this movie are like the apes on the fucking the cross, basically crucified. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, dude.
Which is funny because like in the original one they have scarecrows.
Yeah,
and that's what they look like.
Really?
They're on the little crosses like that.
Yeah. So this one war, uh, they're living like a behind a waterfall, like on a mountain, right?
Yeah, there's a waterfall. There's like some caves in there that
Yeah.
they like. That's where they're hiding out.
Yeah. And let me see here. Because the first thing I wrote down was immediately intense, but I don't remember
I
why I wrote that.
what happens like right when it starts?
Right at the beginning. So this one takes place. It says 2 years following the Battle of San Francisco. Oh, okay. There's a militia group they're calling themselves Alpha Omega, and their whole motto is "We are the beginning, we are the end." And they're led by Woody Harrelson.
Once again, dude, a lot of commentary on religion too.
Yeah. So they're led by Woody Harrelson, and their mission is they're looking for Caesar. They want to wipe out the apes.
Yeah.
And
I think specifically they want to kill Caesar.
yeah, specifically they want to kill Caesar. Okay, let's see. So it says a platoon assaults an ape outpost, but the apes repel the attack with only a few attackers surviving. The apes release the human survivor. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. So it shows like these soldiers, and
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay, yeah. I remember.
they have these soldiers, and they're like in the jungle. It looks like they're in the jungle, and then they start attacking some of the apes, but they have some with them.
Yeah, so you get this shot of this soldier like kind of radioing or something, and then you see this ape behind him.
Yeah,
And you think, oh, it's a gorilla.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, the gorilla's gonna attack this human soldier, and you see that no, the gorilla's working for them.
yeah,
He's kind of like their slave.
yeah,
Because they all have like that word donkey
yeah.
like tattooed on them or not spray painted on their fur.
They have a spray paint on the fur, and then they're like branded with the Alpha Omega, like Greek. What is it? The Greek numerals or whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's where you get the first like
it's like a battle right there.
you get the battle, but then you realize like okay, in this movie they're gonna have gorillas that deserted Caesar and went to fight for the humans.
Well, it's because it's basically Koba's followers.
Yeah.
It's all Koba's followers that were afraid of what Caesar was gonna do to them for betraying them, so they felt it'd be better to work for be the human slave, basically.
Yeah. And they get treated like shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like so they have this battle with some of the apes, and like some of the soldiers end up getting captured along with the gorilla. And then you see like Caesar walking through like this crowd of apes up to the prisoners. And like again, there's that soldier like he's an animal. Like he's just an ape. Like you think he understands you or something, Still. And that's where Caesar, like you see like the progression in his speech. He's able to like say full sentences now. He doesn't talk like all fragmented like he did in the previous film, but he basically releases them. He lets them go, and to tell like
The colonel.
the colonel, yeah. Which is funny because the gorilla calls him Kurna, because he doesn't know what the word is, so he understands it as Kurna. He's like, Kurna have more power than you.
Oh yeah.
Like, because he sees him like as like this all powerful, like godlike figure. But yeah, he tells him like, I'm alive, but I also want this to be a message is like, we're not savages.
Yeah.
Because Caesar is still on that like,
I want peace.
I want peace. Like I'm showing you mercy, whatever.
Like just leave us alone.
Yeah. So like he let the humans go, but they keep the gorilla. And then the gorilla attacks the Winter is the name of the other gorilla, the albino gorilla. He like comes up to the group and he's bleeding from the head, and he's all like, "Oh, like prisoner attacked me," and he took off, And then they're all asleep, whatever, and they get attacked again.
They get like ambushed.
They get
in the middle of
ambushed,
the night.
and Caesar wasn't there, right?
No, Caesar's there, but he sees like the soldiers coming.
Oh,
he goes
that's right.
To warn like the other apes.
That's right. That's
And
right.
he
Yeah.
tells his son Bright Eyes to keep an eye out for his brother and his wife.
Yeah.
His mom. So he goes out to warn the others, like Rocket and them, like, hey, how many guards are on duty? Like let them know like there's people here. And then you hear gunshots. Some of the apes start wiping out some of the soldiers.
Yeah. And then they hear over the walkie-talkie, King Kong is dead. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Caesar immediately runs because they think they killed Caesar.
Yeah.
And he finds his fucking oldest son and wife dead.
Yeah, dude.
That surprised me. So, okay. Watching this, I was like, damn, I don't remember any of this. Like, I know I've seen this movie, but I don't remember. And dude, that shocked me. I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, because they're they were like such a big part of the second one. So it's just like for a movie to be ballsy enough to like get rid of like key characters like that, like, but it was all like, I feel like it had to be done to have like full impact. Like, 'cause
it had to be done to have the full impact and to show the realization that Caesar comes to at the end. So. He gets filled with this rage, like revenge rage. And so they have this plan to move like the whole colony to a safer spot. But Caesar is like, no, like I need to go to the humans and like kill the colonel for killing my family. And Maurice is like no, like, I'm gonna come with you. And Caesar's like, no, like I might not come back. And he's like, that's why I'm gonna come with you to make sure you do. So it's Caesar, Rocket, Maurice, and then one of the gorillas. I don't remember the gorilla's name, but it's only 4 of them.
Yeah, it's only 4.
And so they go on this trek while the rest of the colony goes to find a better place. You know, a place they've apparently Caesar's son had discovered.
Yeah, it was super far away.
Super far away.
Across deserts, somewhere that humans can't get to because it's just such a long trek. And so there's like promise of like wilderness, and it's just empty, so they could be at peace there. So he sends like all the other apes to go there, while he's gonna try to seek revenge and get kill the colonel. And then, like you said, Maurice and Rocket are there to kind of have his back. Yeah. Even though he doesn't want them there.
Yeah. I can't remember the other gorilla that's with him.
I can't either.
I can't remember his name. But they come across this like this guy, and he has the Alpha Omega tattoo on his neck, and they kill him. Or like he tries to pull his gun on Maurice, and Caesar shoots him.
Yeah. And that's like another thing you realize, like Caesar ain't fucking around anymore.
He ain't fucking around anymore. Caesar kills him. And then so like they try to.
He doesn't even have emotion when he does it. Like it's not like he doesn't have like this internal battle. He was just like he pointed the gun at my friends. I shot him.
Yeah, and then so Caesar tells him like, oh, let's see what kind of supplies we can get from this place. And they're like rummaging through the house, and they hear a noise in their back room, and they go back there like very cautiously, and like this it's like super intense. They're like, oh fuck, like what are they gonna find? And they find a child, and the child can't communicate. And Maurice is like, tell Caesar, like, if we leave the child, like, it'll die if we leave the child by itself. And Caesar basically says, like, oh, well, you know, we can't. Like, we can't. Yeah. And then Maurice is like, you know, I understand, but I cannot leave her. So Maurice takes the kid, and it doesn't really explain why the kid can't talk. It just kind of like grunts. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem that afraid. Like it is afraid at first, but like Maurice kind of like is friendly with him, so with her, and she gets attached to Maurice. But they end up continuing on, and then they're on a tower. I forgot what they were looking for, but they're on a tower, and then somebody is like stealing shit from one of their horses, and then ends up stealing the horse. And they chase after this person, and they finally get him cornered, and the person gives back their gun and their bag, and they come out of like the dark with their hands up, but they have like a hoodie on, and it's revealed to be another ape.
Remember his
name? Bad Ape.
Yeah.
So, and voiced by the hilarious Steve Zahn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Steve Zahn from like Saving Silverman, you know. And dude, I fucking loved this character.
So do I. He's like
the comic relief, obviously.
Yeah, but it doesn't get like annoying. Like
it doesn't.
Like the funny moments are just because of him, because of who he is.
He's just so naive.
like yeah, and he's like a circus monkey, so
Yeah.
he doesn't know like monkey language. He only knows how to speak like a human.
Yeah.
Because there's a part where the apes are kind of communicating like sign language with each other,
And he
and
doesn't know.
he's like, and they mentioned that like, well, he doesn't know how to speak like
Yeah,
ape.
Caesar asked him like, "How do you know how to talk?" And he's like, "I listen to the humans."
Yeah, because he's a circus monkey.
And that's why he thinks his name is Bad Ape, because they would always tell him Bad Ape.
So I thought that was his name.
Yeah. And then like he says like, "Oh, I've seen the human zoo," is what he called it, because that's where this Alpha Omega militia would keep like the what is revealed to be like the humans that are infected with like this mutated version of the simian flu, which is what's causing them to not be able to speak and to grunt. So when you're like telling me about how like in the original where he shows up and there's little humans that just grunt and they're like kind of savage, like that's what it reminded me of. Like maybe that's where it started.
Yeah.
You know?
So not only does it affect your speech, like it affects your brain. You become kind of primitive.
Yeah.
Which later on kind of has like a big moment at the end. But so like the colonel, when he sees that happening, he orders like any soldier that has those side effects where they can't talk or anything. He kills them and then he burns like all their belongings.
Yeah.
So I guess he doesn't get infected or
Yeah.
nobody from his team. And because it shows that like in one of the scenes where they find a bunch of soldiers like lying in the snow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they hear gunshots, so they think they're being shot at.
Yeah.
And but then they realize they're not being shot at, and they're like, "Oh, what are they doing?" Like, "Well, we don't know." So they kind of approach cautiously, and they find 3 bodies, and they like take the like blankets off their heads, or they have like burlap sacks. They take them off their heads, and then one of them is still alive, but he can't speak.
He's like grunting.
Yeah. So they put him out of his misery, but they end up finding, or what happens? What happens? Because Caesar ends up going off on his own. I don't remember why though.
Oh, because the gorilla dies.
That's right. That's one thing. Like, so I felt like they tried to make it impactful that the little girl was like so heartbroken that the gorilla died, but they only had one scene really together. It's because she's like looking at the flowers in the tree, and the gorilla comes, and it looks like he's gonna be like mean or whatever, but he picks one of the flowers and puts it in her hair, and she likes that. But that's the only scene they have together, because otherwise she's just attached to Maurice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he ends up dying because they get attacked by some soldiers, because they find the human zoo, as Bad Ape would call it, and they get attacked by these soldiers, and the gorilla dies, and the little girl cries about it, and Maurice basically tells Caesar like, it's not worth it, like let's just join the others, let's get out of here. And Caesar kind of gets mad, and he's like, no, like you leave then. I'm going on by myself. Don't come with me. And so he gets closer, he approaches it, and he sees the colony all being imprisoned.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he has that like what have I done? Well, he does say that at one point, doesn't he?
Yeah, because a lot of the apes that are there are were the apes that from his colony that he sent out to that was supposed to go to that place, that special place, across the desert and all that, and they got captured.
Yeah.
And they brought him there, so his son's there, his little baby son, and then he realized that there's like a lot more apes. He thought that they were the only ones, but then he sees like all these apes are trapped in this like little like fenced up areas, and he's like, oh shit, like we're not alone.
Yeah.
And they got all these apes, and they got a bunch of his people there, so he's just kind of overwhelmed, like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Like this is kind of my fault. Like, well, the ones that are from his colony, like that, then
And then he's like, throughout the movie, he has these like hallucinations that he sees Koba.
Yeah.
And he's like all bloody, and like the first time he sees him, like Koba is like looking at him, and he says, "Ape, not kill ape," and like smiles. And like he like wakes up, like because he was like dreaming or whatever.
Yeah, because he's slowly like starting to realize like he's just hatred filled, just like him, because he killed his family.
Yeah.
So, and that's like the whole thing of this movie. It's like him like real like out of, like thinking like, oh, am I gonna be just like Koba? Like, you know, because he is out for revenge.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
even Maurice comments on it. He's like, "You sound like Koba."
Yeah.
Like the way he's talking, like you sound like Koba. But yeah, like that whole like encampment stuff was like that shit was like dark.
Yeah, dude. It was, and not only that, what's his name? Who plays the Colonel?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, dude. He said does such a good job of playing that guy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Apocalypse Now?
No.
So there's a lot of references to that movie
Yeah.
in this. I think
I
even
know like the him shaving his head was probably one.
yeah. So like he just does little things like that. I'm just like, man, this guy's having fun playing this role.
Yeah.
But he's like such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, but then like even him like later on when he does reveal like his like motives and stuff, like he kind of understand it too, like because like you know he talks about how he had to kill his own son because he got that virus.
Yeah.
You know he mentions like how he couldn't talk and like he had this like he's like even in his primitive gaze like I can tell like he still loved me.
Yeah.
And he's like I still shot him. So like
there's another theme of like fear, like what fear does to you, like what lengths it takes you to like the shit that you do because of it.
mm-hmm. And so yeah, he ends up getting captured, and he has this moment where you know they have I think the women and the babies separated from the men, right?
Just
oh
the
no,
babies.
just the babies, just the babies. Yeah, yeah, just the babies, and they have the women and the men like just building a wall, like this big fort thing out of rocks, right?
Yeah.
And you have that moment where something happens, like one of the apes drops something. He's just
one of the
fucking
orangutans.
tired.
He's like exhausted.
They haven't had water or food or anything.
Because like the way this orangutan looks compared to the way Maurice looks, like he's like hollow. Like there's no water, no food, and he's done. You know.
It's been like days working there.
And yeah, he like drops a rock, and it breaks like some stuff, and like he ends up getting whipped, and Caesar tells him to stop. So then Caesar ends up getting whipped, but he's not reacting to it. And then like he's like Woody Harrelson just like looking at him, and he fucking shoots a orangutan in the head in front of Caesar. That sounds like it's fucking dark, dude.
Yeah, it's so dark, and he even says like, "Oh, like," he has that scene where he's like, "Tell him to get back to work. You have to count to like 5 or something," and he starts counting, and then like, Caesar's son, Bright Eyes, who got killed, his girlfriend is there, and she like, I think they realize that Caesar's not gonna give in to his command, so she just starts picking up a rock and telling the other monkeys to start working, to kind of save his life.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when Caesar realized like, oh, like they have love for me still. Like, I gotta try to do something. And then he ends up convincing the colonel to like he tells him like I know, like I overheard saying that there's soldiers coming. He's like because it looks like you're preparing for battle by building this giant wall and all that. And he's like I don't think they're here to help you. He's like I think they're here to for something else. And then that's when the colonel tells him everything. He's like yeah, they're here to.
He's like I'm impressed by you.
Yeah.
He's like, you really are that smart. And that's when he tells him about like the whole.
Yeah, how they're just coming there to take to pretty much get him out of power.
Yeah.
They think he's like mad with power, and anyways, Caesar ends up convincing him to give the apes food and water, telling them that if you don't, they're not going to be able to complete your giant wall because they're gonna be too tired and exhausted. So he ends up kind of giving into his command and just gives all the apes food and water.
Except him though.
Except him because he's like hanging. They kind of have him like crucified,
like in front of everybody.
Yeah, and
he tells him is like in the morning put him to work, and if he can't kill him.
Yeah. If he's still alive or something like that. Yeah, and then he ends up like getting put in a cage, and the little girl, her name they end up calling her Nova.
Yeah, so like the way she gets that name is because when they meet Bad Ape, like, and they're talking to him, she keeps picking something up. It doesn't show what it is,
Yeah.
but she keeps trying to get, and he's all like, no, you don't touch that. You don't touch that. And then when they say like, oh, we're going to go to this human zoo, and he's like, no, like, you guys should just stay here. You know, it's safe here. Like, and then he looks at the thing and gives it to a little girl. He's like, you could keep it. Like,
Yeah, trying to convince him to say like, hey.
Damn, dude, every time I feel my nose runny. It's just my allergies, though.
And it's an emblem from a Chevy Nova.
It's an emblem from a Chevy Nova. And then there's that scene between her and Maurice. Because, like you said, the disease, it makes him kind of primitive.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know what she is.
She's kind of confused.
She's confused. And
she's like, I look like a human, but I can't talk like them.
yeah, and like, she's like asking, like, because she's like signing with him, because he's teaching her how to sign. And she's like, what am I? And then he just like looks at her and pulls out the emblem, and he said, "You're Nova."
Yeah,
like, so basically naming her.
Yeah.
So like they call her Nova, but yeah, she ends up just. This was another scene that kind of felt a little far fetched, but she just walks in, like no undetected, like literally down the middle through the front entrance, undetected, like nobody notices her, and then she goes up to Caesar and she sees that like he's dying.
Yeah.
And I think she gives him her doll, because she has a doll with her.
Yeah.
She gives him the doll, and he's like that's what wakes him up. And then she knows the sign for thirsty, and she does like thirsty, like, are you thirsty?
Yeah.
And then he just like, she brings him a bucket of water, and then like is giving him water, and then the other apes are calling to her, and she like walks over there.
She gets like a handful.
They give her a handful of something, and she comes back, and it's food, like it's like seeds.
Yeah.
And she gives it to Caesar, and then like the soldiers start coming, so he tells her to like hide.
Yeah.
To go hide, and then like Rocket and Maurice are watching, and they're like, oh, she's gonna get caught. If they find her, they're gonna kill her. And so
I think Rocket ends up making a distraction.
Yeah, but Woody Harrelson's character, he sees the doll. Oh no, this is the next morning, huh?
Yeah, the next morning.
Okay, yeah. So Rocket ends up going in there to cause the distraction, and the little girl gets back to Maurice, and they end up putting Rocket in the cage, and then that's when him and Caesar are signing, like, okay, now we got to plan an escape.
Yeah. And then you kind of get that moment, the first moment of like where Caesar kind of gets his hope back, because all the monkeys kind of sign that they have that sign where it's like apes together strong.
Yeah.
And they all start doing it, and then he kind of I think
even the little girl does it.
Yeah, and I think that's when he realizes like, hey, like these are still my people. I still got to lead them to safety and save them. And that's when he's like I guess his brain goes back into, okay, how am I gonna like save them this time?
Yeah.
So for like the first time since his family died, he's not thinking about revenge.
Yeah.
So
he's just got to get out of here.
Yeah, and what do you call it? So yeah, the next morning the colonel goes in the cage,
and he finds the doll.
And
he's like, "How did this get in here?"
Yeah.
And they have no answer. They don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then which I did not realize was going to be a significant thing. Him finding the doll.
Yeah, I didn't remember that part.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, whatever.
Because I remembered how it ended, but I was like, how did it get like that? Like how?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, and then they hatch a plan to escape, and they realize that like if they could dig, or they could go through the sewer, and there's like an opening to get to the kids and to the adults, as long as they dig through. But they find out that if they keep digging to get closer to the kids, they're gonna get flooded out.
Yeah.
So they can't keep digging. So they're only able to reach the adults. So now they got to find a way to get the kids into the adult cage. And this is another thing. Like there's like nobody on patrol. There's like one guy on patrol that they lure to get the keys, but that's it. Like they're able to get all the kids over, and like they start escaping, and Caesar is still like, no, I need to get my revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like everybody's already out into the tunnel, and he goes in, and that's where he finds the colonel like fucking
drunk, not being able to talk.
Yeah, or that's what it seems.
Yeah,
that's what it seems. But he can't talk. Like he's like grunting, and like Caesar puts the gun to his head, and he has like so much hate in his face, and then like he can't do it. He just doesn't do it. He like looks at him and like, because he wants to die.
The colonel's like signaling to shoot him.
Like to shoot him, because he's like has the mutated version of the fucking simian flu, which he got from the doll.
Yeah, because there's a shot that when Caesar looks at the doll and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and so Caesar is like, "No, like I can't. I'm not doing this." And then the whole time during all that happening, the soldiers arrive, and they started, or the helicopters, and they start shooting at the base, and then they start shooting back. So like this war starts happening between the humans, and then like his name is Red Donkey. He's like helping the guys, and they're like shooting, and like the apes are basically they're all out, but there's still some kind of like hiding because they're in the crossfire. And then the colonel shoots himself, ends up shooting himself, and then Caesar's about to leave, and they fucking break into the door, into the room, and Caesar takes like that pack of grenades.
Yeah,
because he sees like there's that fuel tanker that's leaking, and that's next to the wall, and he's gonna blow it up.
yeah. And one thing we didn't mention is there's a soldier in the very beginning of the movie that Caesar lets him live.
Yeah.
And that's the and he's kind of important a character because he's there throughout the movie, like in little parts.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, because Caesar let him live, you think he's gonna kind of be like
sympathetic.
Yeah, towards him and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you let me go, like maybe he'll do the same, but it wasn't the case at all.
That wasn't the case
That
at
guy's
all.
a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
which I'm kind of glad they did. Yeah. Honestly, to be honest, because it was kind of expected that he would help him out, but he didn't.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny because like the one that ends up helping him out is the gorilla, the donkey.
Donkey, yeah.
He ends up
because he sees like he's there, he's loading the guns up, and then he's like watching like some of these apes getting gunned down, even though they're being attacked. The humans are being attacked by the other humans.
Do you think that'd be focused on the helicopters? But
yeah, he sees this, and then the guy tells him like, "Oh, like I need more. Give me the rocket launcher."
Yeah,
he's like, "Give me the rocket launcher," and he goes to grab it, and then that's when he sees Caesar running towards like the tanker, and he's just watching him. But then Caesar gets hit with an arrow.
Yeah, Caesar gets hit on the side,
and that's that guy that he let go, and he's like about to kill him, and then the guy fucking blows up. Because the red donkey fucking shoots him with the rocket launcher.
It's so satisfying, dude.
And then he fucking gets shot in the head.
In slow motion, too.
Dude.
One of the soldiers turns around and just points a handgun at his head and just shoots him.
Dude.
Oh, I know, dude. It's a tough film to watch.
Yeah.
Dude. It's so, like...
I was, like, so shocked it was PG-13.
That is
because it's pretty gruesome. Like...
Even like the scenes where the humans dying, like where they're throwing all the spears and stuff, like the apes, and like the humans are just getting annihilated.
Yeah,
like they're like, I didn't know it was PG. I thought it was rated R.
No, it's PG-13.
That's crazy.
A hard PG-13.
So then Caesar ends up blowing up that tank.
Yeah,
and he blows it up, and then he finally kind of makes his escape. He joins the other apes.
Well, he's like making his escape, and these like he's still hiding. He hasn't joined them yet, and the other soldiers come in. They take down the wall, and they think they like they did it.
They won. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, and then you start hearing like a rumbling, like, and you see Caesar look off to the side, and he stands up like in shock, but they don't show what he sees. And then all the soldiers turn and see Caesar.
Yeah, they're all like in white camouflage.
Yeah.
Like they turn around and they see this ape just standing up, like kind of like
And yeah, like they get quiet because they're all cheering. And then one of them points a gun at him, and then the rumbling gets louder, and then they all turn towards the noise, and it's a fucking avalanche.
Yeah. Crazy scene, dude.
Yeah,
they all get buried.
They all get buried, and it shows Caesar outrunning it, and then. Like he still has part of the arrow in him.
Yeah.
Because he just broke off the end of it.
Yeah.
And then that's another thing I like noticed too, or like I wanted to comment on, because he joins up with the rest of the colony, and then they go to where they were initially planning on going. They find it, and they finally get there, and like Caesar and Maurice sit as they watch the rest of the colony like enjoy it and like celebrate that they made it. Along with the little girl with them. She even does the whole like asking for permission with her hand.
Yeah.
Which I thought was tight.
She takes Caesar's little little son with him.
Cornelius, that was his name. Yeah, Cornelius and Bad Ape, like the three of them, they go and then like they're just playing, and then Caesar and Maurice are just sitting there, and like that's when like I guess Caesar starts to like really succumb to his wound. Yeah. But that was like okay, like he's had that the whole time. Like how long did it take to get there? Like would he have really survived that?
Willpower, dude. Maybe like he's gone this far. He's like I can't die now. Like I don't know, dude. But I know apes are a lot stronger than humans too. Yeah. Like, but man,
dude, that shit was sad.
It's so sad.
That shit was so sad. Like him and Maurice and like,
and you feel like exhausted too with them. Like you feel like fuck, they've been through so much. Like and like it, you feel it.
Yeah, I love how they aged Caesar throughout the movies too.
Yeah,
because like by the end of this one, like he's like kind of grayed. Yeah. Like the tip of his fur is like gray, and just he has that look of exhaustion in his face. Like,
yeah, I just feel like you almost feel like he's finally at peace, so you can finally let go.
Yeah,
he's like, all right, like I led them to peace, and they're safe now. Like I can finally die, and like.
And then Maurice talks.
Yeah,
he talks. He's like Cornelius will know his father. Like he will know Caesar, and what he did for the apes.
Man, it's so heart-wrenching, dude, because the whole movie is so fucking dark.
Yeah.
And it's like finally like a little bit of happiness at the end.
Yeah.
But I love this movie, dude.
Yeah, like you said, like I go back and forth between this one and Dawn. Mm-hmm. Just this one is so dark. It's so heart-wrenching. Like, oh, dude, this is a great trilogy.
Yeah.
Like the pros, like the whole of how good the second and third one, like it brings up the first movie.
Yeah.
Even with all its flaws.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like this is why it's so important. Like whenever you make a trilogy, like try to have the same director.
Yeah.
For all three, because like it'll just be more flush. Like it'll be just more streamlined, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, like Lord of the Rings with Peter Jackson. Like I feel like that's how it should be. You know, or else you're gonna have a mess. Like.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, having three different peoples with three different visions, like it'll suck.
Yeah.
But have you heard anything about the new one or no?
No, just that it takes place 300 years after the events of war.
Yeah. So it takes place 300 years, and I was watching this little interview with the director, mm-hmm. and he said that one of his things was like he doesn't want to make it as bleak as the Dawn and War.
Yeah.
Which kind of made me upset. Like I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like that's what made them so good though. Like they're so dark, but you know they pack a punch. So I'm kind of like I don't know, like treading lightly, I guess, with this new one, because I don't feel like there's a need for it. And even the director kind of said that like when they asked me like if I'd want to make a fourth one, I'm like, no, this is like a perfect little trilogy. Like I don't want to mess with it. So it was like the only thing I could think of was if I have a story to tell, like I want it to take place way later, so it doesn't really affect the original trilogy.
Yeah,
which I think was a smart idea, because if it would just picked up like right after that, like with Bright Eyes or something, I would have been like, you know, like if it sucked, I feel like it would have kind of affected the way I see the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So, and it is gonna be the first Disney one.
Oh, that's right.
So it's like I don't know, like when it comes to Disney, dude, I'm like super like, we'll see.
Well, okay, it's gonna be the first one under the Disney umbrella, but it's still like a 20th century studio movie.
Yeah, but then the director is kind of like unknown. I think he did the Maze Runner movies or no?
I'm not sure. Let me look him up.
I know he's friends with the other director, Matt Reeves.
All right, so this one, it's gonna be 2.5 hours long.
Dang.
Let's see. Wes Ball is the director. Wes Ball, yeah, he did the Maze Runner.
That's like all like. He doesn't really have too much under his belt.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I haven't watched the trailer yet, so I don't know. Like,
that's literally the only thing he's directed.
Yeah.
The Maze Runner, Scorched Trials, and Maze Runner Death Cure. And then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is what?
Yeah, so I thought it was strange, but I feel like Disney always takes stupid chances like that.
I mean, I hope it's good.
I hope so too, but I mean, I feel like if it is, a bad movie or whatever, like at least I don't think it would have like an effect on the way I see the original.
Apparently, he's also doing a live action Legend of Zelda movie for Sony, for Nintendo and Sony. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
And very very quickly.
What's up?
Just going off the rails a little bit right now. One of my coworkers who listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
He said that he's like you and Fidel would be horrible murderers.
Why?
Yeah, I asked him the same thing. He's like you guys were laughing that guy in the Blue Ruin used an arrow. He's like, but that's the perfect weapon. It's not loud and it's deadly. He's like, so if you were going into anyone's house, why would you take a gun in the first place? Like an arrow would make more sense. Because remember you had mentioned like why the fuck would he be carrying a fucking arrow? Like it's so random.
Yeah.
He's like, it's the perfect killing weapon, dude.
Wait, for Blue Ruin?
Yeah.
That episode's not out yet.
It's not?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. That's the next episode to come out.
Oh, maybe I mentioned it to him. Maybe I did mention it to him then.
Yeah.
Okay, because he saw it too. Because I told him I watched it, and like I maybe I mentioned that you were the one that like brought up the arrow, and no, I mentioned it before that, and then he watched it again because he said he's seen it, but he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, yeah, you guys would make horrible murderers.
Yeah, because that episode isn't out yet. That's the next episode to come out.
I'm so lost on how far we are. But yeah, it just reminded me because of Caesar being shot in with the arrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great trilogy. I think it's an
100%.
underrated trilogy.
Yeah.
I think Andy Serkis should have won.
Something.
Yeah, it sucks that it is stop motion, so I feel like people don't take it too serious.
But dude, the way he was able to convey emotion through this, and like you said, all the subtleties, all the mannerisms, like it's just so convincing.
Yeah, and then the CGI, I feel like, fuck, dude, it just got better throughout the movies.
Yeah, because in the first, even at times in the second one, there was some moments where it was like, I don't know about that. Mm-hmm. But the third one, dude, they use real chimpanzees. But yeah, you can watch all three on Hulu because, like I said, Disney is like the proprietor now of like Fox, and so all the 20th century stuff you can watch on Hulu, basically. I believe War and Dawn are on Max, but not Rise. But all three of them are on Hulu.
I think the original is on.
It might also be on Hulu.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know the Tim Burton one is.
Okay.
Because it came up under my suggested after watching all three.
Because I wasn't going to rewatch it. And I'm like, you know what? I have an extra day before we record. And I think I just looked it up and it was there. So it might have been Hulu or Amazon. But I recommend watching the first one, dude. It's a good movie.
I'm going to watch it. I streamed these movies and I own the steelbooks.
But you have like separate steelbooks? Or
They're
like
separate. No, they're separate.
I have them too, but I just have like the basic Blu-ray ones.
Mm. All right, so now's the time for. So when we get like comments or questions or whatever in the Q&A stuff, I always forget like which ones I haven't read. So I kind of like the last time where I reread one. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm not publishing them, so it still shows that we have new ones.
Oh okay.
So we have some for our episode called Uncut Cable, which is where we talked about Terrifier and Boyhood. Mm-hmm. We have one. We have let's see, just one. It's from Nikki. I love how your chapters are generated on Spotify now, and I just use the captions the whole time. Also, come shoot a music video for days. Because I noticed that like when the episode gets uploaded, I go to Spotify and I like skim through it to see like make sure it sounds okay, like the final product. Even though I do that before I upload it, I'm paranoid. But I noticed that our audio, it gets generated like the text of what we're saying, and instead of the image of the episode being displayed, it shows the audio or the text of what we're talking about. So I think that's what she's mentioning. But she said, yeah, come shoot a music video for days. Let's go, dude.
I'm down. I know. My coworker is some young guy. His name is Chris. He like listens to and I like he always comments. He talks to me. I'm like, dude, just leave a comment so we can read it out loud because I'll forget.
Yeah.
And so I like he mentioned the arrows. So I'll tell him like when that episode comes out, just leave a fucking comment on Spotify because like the only reason I remembered was because of Caesar getting shot with the arrow.
All right, and then the other one is on the episode that came out recently, which is the episode I did with Jason from Shabalba. I call the episode "Enter the Brunez" because he mentioned "Enter the Dragon," the Bruce Lee movie, and we talk about like martial arts stuff. But we got one comment on that, and it's from Evan. It says Galaxy Quest is great. Came out around the same time as Evolution, both sci-fi space comedies, for sure worth a watch. Cause have you seen Galaxy Quest?
I love Galaxy Quest.
I've never seen it, and I've always thought it looked stupid, and that's why I never watched it.
It is kind of stupid, dude.
But everybody tells me it's really funny.
It's funny, dude. I don't remember Evolution though. I know I've seen it, but
I've seen that one too, and that one's funny.
It's been so long since I've seen that one.
So if Evan's saying that like they're both pretty good, and
they're probably not then. Huh?
Yeah, they probably suck. Fuck you, Evan. But yeah, that's all. That's all we got.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Keep commenting. Yeah, tell your coworker to comment on that one.
I'm like, yeah, stop talking to me.
But yeah, we're still ahead by a good amount. So.
Yeah.
Excited for Sound and Fury?
Yeah.
We're gonna find out.
I'm curious. Yeah.
I know. I'm curious too. Damn, Betamax of Sound and Fury.
Can you take cameras or no?
Yeah, you can take whatever.
Dang. I just can't go in the pit with those bad boys.
Fuck it. All right. We'll see everybody next time.
Later.